It's the SEGA Swingin Report Show. Get ready for Sega news and commentary with your hosts, George and Barry. Hello and welcome to the 52nd episode of the SEGA Swingin Report Show. It's been a while, but we're back. I'm Barry, and with me is George.
Hello. This is going to be an intimate episode, right?
A very intimate episode. There's no one with us today, though we do have some what's that phrase? We have some
What's the phrase? I don't even know what you're thinking of.
there's something in the fire. We have our we got things planned. In any case, it's been a while, like I said, but a lot of shit went down. A lot of good stuff, actually. I'd say it's been a good month. But before we get into that, let's say what we've been up to and what we've been playing.
I've been up to trying to create artwork, apparently, because I have a class where we're doing lithographs, and I'm not very into the process because I hate the idea of drawing on stones, but I've been trying to catch up on my work because I'm way behind because I'm the type of person that like I have to like a piece of work before I put it on a stone, and that class is about just printing. It's like, oh, just scribble on it. He doesn't care. But I'm not like that. So everybody's producing like 15 pieces of work and I'm like barely on my third. So I have to like catch up, and I've been doing that and it's taking forever. And it takes What happened?
Is this the same as screen printing?
Not really. It's like the way it's more about paper and the way they used to do like we're doing like reproducing artwork basically.
Okay. Yeah, I remember animation cells. They do lithographs, and it would just be like a reproduction of a famous scene in like a cartoon or something.
Yeah, the teacher in the class is like really into lithographs, so like I can't just tell him, oh, I fucking hate this shit. This is fucking stupid. Like, because he'll fucking just go off on me. Because on his car, his license plate is Litho Man.
That's sad.
Yeah, he like loves lithographs. Like, I even took a picture of his car, like, of the license plate. I couldn't believe it. And so I mean, I like his passion, I guess, for the subject. Like, it's always cool having a teacher that's actually passionate what they're teaching. Because I think I had him for digital art or something like that, just like Photoshop. And he hates Photoshop. He fucking hated it. Like, he was a terrible teacher. He's like, this is bullshit. This is all bullshit. And he would get up on the stage and he would talk, but he would be all like, it's bullshit. So he pretty much showed us how to like take a drawing and like fix it on Photoshop, even though I already knew that. So I'm doing that. I'm trying to catch up on games. I've been trying to play Typing to the Dead, but haven't really had time. I have it on my Steam though list.
That's cool.
And I'm addicted to that free to play game, League of Legends. I wish I wasn't. That game's like
out.
that game's like crack. I swear. Anyway, that's what I've been up to. What have you been up to, Barry?
I have not been up to much. It's been Halloween, so I've been watching a lot of scary movies all past month.
Which ones?
I was watching all the Child's Play movies.
Oh, the second one's the best one, dude, because of the Toy Factory.
One. Yeah.
That was cool.
And what else did I watch? I watched a lot of the old stuff, a lot of the black and white Universal monster movies.
They have those on Netflix, don't they?
Yeah, they got a few of them. I watched Spanish Dracula.
Dracula?
Yeah, it's really good. It was when they closed down the English set at night, a whole Spanish crew would come in to the Universal lot and they would shoot the same film at night because when films went from silent to talkies, they kind of shot themselves in the foot because with silent films you can sell those anywhere because there's no dialogue. But with as soon as they started doing dialogue, they couldn't sell the films to Mexico because they couldn't understand them. So it was really good. I liked it. It was pretty cool.
So was it silent? It was a silent picture.
No. It was talkie.
But with Mexican people.
Yeah.
So they talked like, "Oy, mira, el espanto."
Well, the first thing Dracula said was, "Soy Dracula."
That works.
Yeah.
So the guy that played the Spanish Dracula was pretty good?
Yeah, he was pretty good. He had goofy eyes, which was kind of funny, but he was creepy. He was a creep.
That's my favorite
And
type of Dracula.
let's see what else. Just yeah, carved pumpkins, ate candy. I haven't really been playing many games up until this last week because I've been I don't know. It's like when a new game's coming out that I really want to play, I just kind of don't play other ones because I just like when I'm playing them, I'm like, man, I could be playing the new game, and so I don't know if you know how that is, but
Yeah, I know exactly how that is. It's like you
because it's
have
like, yeah,
the worst part is when you're looking forward to a game and then you get it, then you put it off for like a couple of weeks to play it, and you're like,
yeah,
why
that's
did I
rough.
do that?
I did that with Binary Domain. I was like, day one, I'm gonna get it, and then I couldn't play it for a while and felt
Yeah,
bad.
that's the worst.
But no, the game I was looking forward to was Sonic Lost World. Mainly, I mean, obviously I like the Sonic games, but because I bought a Wii U and I've had it for a month, and I haven't really bought any games for it because, to be honest, there aren't that many good games out
So
on it.
you had a I bet what so you just had the Wii U sitting there in your living room and you're like one day.
Well, I was doing a lot of stuff on Miiverse, and I was playing the pack-in uh, Zelda game, which, to be fair, I've never played before, so I was enjoying it, but it definitely feels like an HD remastering of an old game. It's not like you're like, oh my God, I'm experiencing a brand new Wii U game.
That's
Uh,
actually one of my favorite Zelda games, even though obviously it has its flaws. But I really like the art style, even though it's nothing, obviously nothing new. But I think
mhm.
it looks really nice. I mean, compared to the 3D Zelda games, I actually prefer the cartoon look.
No, I like it too. I'm looking forward to getting back into it after I finish Sonic up.
So,
Um,
what's your initial thoughts of Sonic, or is that one of the topics that we shouldn't talk about?
that's one of the topics, but
Uh,
I've played through all of the 3DS version, and I'm about halfway, little over halfway through the Wii U version. And so far, 3DS version, I'm liking it more than Generations 3DS, but it's not as solid a game as the like Rush titles where you know what you're getting into. It's more like you'll get into a stage and you'll go, oh, it's a gimmicky stage, or you'll get into another stage and like, oh, this is awesome, you know.
yeah.
Um, I guess the term is a mixed bag. Uh, as for the Wii U version, I'm liking it a little bit more than Sonic Colors, but not as much as Sonic Generations. But I'll get into that.
We'll get into
So
that later. We don't want to spoil
that's right.
that.
Oh no, that's the main event because everyone in America we're the last people to play the game, so everyone else has already formed an opinion.
Yeah, so now you're gonna hear our late opinion.
Oh my God,
Well, Barry's late opinion. I haven't even played the game.
yeah, you, yeah,
I
we'll
don't have
talk
a
about.
Wii U, and I don't know if I want to buy one.
Yeah, you'll get one in a bargain bin in a month
Oh,
when Nintendo goes out of
actually, that's
business.
what you should talk about. What's your initial reactions to the Wii U, the console itself, as a Sega fan?
Um, I think it's nice to see like get a new console and there's all these really quirky kind of features to it. I think a lot of modern consoles are kind of missing out on that, and it was something that Sega kind of did. I wouldn't say what Nintendo does is similar to what Sega does, but um, it's nice to have a console that's just all about games and fun, and it's not like they're shoving entertainment down my throat and like watch videos, stream movies, that
What
kind
do
of
you
stuff.
mean?
I like the Miiverse stuff. I haven't really seen it implemented as well as I wish it was, but I think I liked how Zelda you could like send notes to people in bottles, and in the Sonic one you can share items, which is kind of cool. Um, but yeah, overall it's the hardware is all right. I don't feel like I'm playing a next gen console. I feel like I have a second Xbox 360 sitting under my TV.
But
Um,
have you? Oh yeah. So like when you okay, you gamed on the 360, and now you're gaming on the Wii U. Like when you play them, you're like, man, the 360 did this, and the Wii U doesn't do this. Have you ever thought like, is there anything like that where you're like, come on, Nintendo, it's obvious you could have done this.
I feel, I can't really think of much. I think maybe adding friends was a lot easier on the 360, and communicating with them was. Um, but outside of that, oh, in the store, I like the store a lot more on the 360. It's a lot more, you can get directly to the games. In the
Yeah,
Wii U, you have to go into the eShop and you're in the eShop, whereas on the Xbox 360, like a click away, you could be looking at a game's details and buy it.
that's something that Microsoft's always done well. Like the
Hmm.
store and their like friends list, like communicating with each other. That's always what the 360 that generation was known for.
Hmm. Yeah, I
And
feel like on the 360, I could just get a group of friends and we could start chatting.
yeah,
Not that I do that too often, but I feel like I could. Whereas on the Wii U, I'm like, I'm stuck. I can't really have a chat with people. I have to go into this little Miiverse setting. Um, it's not like their little notifications pop up. I also miss having achievements.
I know a lot of
Uh,
people say that that ruined the generation, but honestly, to me, it felt like you buy a game and then you beat all the tasks in the game, but there's also these other little tasks that go on your profile,
hmm.
basically like little badges of honor. And I don't think that's bad. I think it made a lot of people this generation, this last generation now, since we're 4 days away from when we're recording for
That's
the,
crazy.
um, they made them play more games. Like a lot of people would just buy games and not really play them, but then they saw those achievement scores and they're like, "Well, I'm gonna try to beat my friends." So they all try to play the same game, and I think they're expanding on that next generation with the whole recording and streaming now.
Hmm. Hmm.
So I don't know. I don't think it's a bad thing. I think Nintendo should probably add that. I don't think it would hurt
Hmm.
anybody.
But I feel like I'm playing the Wii that I wanted. You know what I mean? If that makes
Yeah,
sense. It's like what I wish the Wii was when it first came out, and it does feel like it's too little, too late for Nintendo, in my opinion. I know people have compared the Wii U to the Dreamcast, and I don't think it's an apt comparison. Uh,
Do you think the software title is anywhere near the Dreamcast? At least when it
oh
was
no,
active?
no, I think the Dreamcast had a much stronger library. When you look at between just looking at the American dates, 99 to 2001, there are a load of great games. Whereas I feel like with the Wii U, we're what, a year in now?
Yeah, it's gonna be a year.
And all I can think of, there's a 2D Mario game. I like the Sonic game. And there's a Mario game on the horizon that I'm looking forward to. But outside of that, there isn't that much.
I think the problem with it is they haven't gotten a I guess what they call it nowadays is a triple A title. They haven't
Hmm.
gotten that game where you're like, I need that game.
Yeah.
And
And with the Dreamcast too, I think a lot of people were excited. They saw it and they're like, oh my God, look at these. They're 3D graphics, but I don't feel like, I'm hindered by them like on the N64 or the PlayStation. Like I feel like we're finally there where you can play a 3D game and really get immersed in it. Whereas now you look at the Wii U and it's just a slightly better than the Xbox, and I hesitate to say it's better than the PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 3, even though I know on paper it is, right?
I think I don't even know. Like I haven't really looked it up, but people were saying that it should be twice as good as the 360, but none of the games they've released have shown that at all.
No, I haven't. I mean, I've played Red Dead Redemption, and I haven't seen anything on the Wii U that blows me away like that did. I mean,
Yeah,
I've
Red Dead
seen,
Redemption, that was ridiculous, like looking game. Like
yeah.
some of the scenery on that game was like like the most beautiful thing, like the sunsets and everything.
Hmm.
And considering
Hmm.
it's an open world game,
So, I mean, I'm glad I bought it, but I bought it because I wanted to play uh, the new Sonic games, the next Mario game, and Bayonetta 2, and I thought that alone was worth it. And there are other games coming out. So it's one of those consoles where it's more about the quality of the titles to come. Uh, but even then, I don't think they justify getting one
so
personally.
you give it a no, even though you own it and pretty much you like it. Like you're like I like the console, but I wouldn't buy it again.
I'd say if you can say like, yeah, I really want to try that new Sonic game. I definitely want to get Mario 3D Worlds and Bayonetta 2. Then I think it's worth it. But
That's the one thing I do not understand about Nintendo. Like their fans when they defend the Wii U, it's always but this is the only gaming only console, but yet their gaming library isn't that impressive for being a year in.
yeah, yeah.
So until they start delivering games that are worth it, I think when Smash Bros starts coming around, I think sales will pick up, and I think third party support will pick up. But
Hmm.
we'll see. Hopefully Bayonetta does well because I haven't really heard anything about Wonderful 101 selling that great.
Oh God, I completely forgot about that game. See how bad they're doing with advertising that?
Yeah, yeah.
I need to pick it up still. That was on my list too.
It looks like a good game, but it's like I don't know. It's hard to advertise a weird Japanese game like that.
Yeah. Well, Black Friday, it's Toys R Us. It's buy one get one game 40% off. So I might try to get
Where is it
Wonderful
at?
101 at Toys R Us.
Good luck with that one.
Yeah, I know,
I've
right?
been
Well, I might.
I've been on Toys R Us and Black Friday before. That was the most terrible experience.
Oh my God, I could go on and on about how horrible my experience at Black Friday Toys R Us was last year, but I won't. We should get into Sega news.
Yes.
Doo-doo-doo-doo, Sega news. 20th Century Fox trademarks Alien Isolation as their next game.
And I guess there was a leak from Kotaku
Hmm.
saying that one of the guys already told him before that the whole story, I guess, or the premise, it was supposed to be a creative assembly game. The guys that made
Hmm.
Total War games, and it was so that's been rumored already. Like we already knew they were creating an Aliens game, and supposedly you play as what's the lead characters in the first movie?
Ripley.
Huh?
Ripley, right?
Well, no,
Rip,
Ripley.
Rip,
What? I don't even know.
her daughter.
Yeah, her daughter. You play as her daughter. There you go. I
Hmm.
guess she's mentioned in one of the special extended DVDs or something,
Yeah, yeah.
and just by like slightly on the TV.
But
But
apparently she dies in one of the films,
according
in the
to the
sequel.
yeah, they say that she died while she was frozen or something. Like time passes.
Yeah, yeah.
So I guess it's gonna be about her surviving an alien onslaught or something,
Yeah, yeah. Maybe I mean maybe she comes out of the freezer and fights the alien and then crawls back in and then dies.
and then dies. So we could get that reference in the movie.
Yeah,
But
there you go.
I mean, people are saying they're saying it's going to be it's going to be influenced by BioShock and Dishonored. But I mean, I would like to see it before I judge it because when they were sponsoring Colonial Marines, they were saying it was going to be better than Dead Space 3 and it was going to be scarier.
Yeah.
And that game turned out to be a pile of shit.
Well, at least we have a good developer behind it. I mean, we've talked about it before, but Viking's a pretty fun game, and
Regardless of its flaws, it's not a finished game, but it has a lot of potential in it.
right, right. So I mean, when people think the Creative Assembly, they think, oh my God, massive strategy games. How can they make a game with a little girl? And I believe they said there's only one alien.
They said that for the most game it'll be one alien, but there'll be a bunch of. They didn't roll out having other soldiers and human.
Okay. I think that would be pretty cool. I mean, you are really limited on it's more of a survival horror kind of thing where you're really limited on weapons.
Yeah, I think it would
Um,
be cool if it's handled
if done
correctly.
well, and I think as bad as Colonial Marines situation was, I think if you could spin that into a positive, it means they're really going to try hard to
Yeah,
make this one good.
I hope Sega's. I mean, they saw the sales that Colonial Marines brought in anyway,
Hmm.
so I hope they see it and they're like, you know what, if we do good, we could sell. We could really bank on this
Yeah,
franchise.
yeah,
So here's hoping that they release a really good game.
yeah. And speaking of Colonial Marines, last I checked on Amazon, you could get that massive collector's edition box for like 25 bucks.
Man, they had it
Used to
on.
be 100.
Yeah, they had it on sale. They had the game on sale on like Steam a while back. I think on Halloween
Hmm.
for 4.99 digital.
That's
Like,
crazy.
so they're pretty much already giving it away.
Yeah, yeah. The it's $25 free shipping, and you get the game, a power loader figure, all these downloadable things, a bunch of like cool collectibles. I mean, honestly, it's I think it's worth it just for the statue, and then you just
Yeah,
put the game on your shelf. I
if you're
might
into
actually get this.
if you're into Sega collectibles, which they don't release that many in the United States,
Yeah,
that's pretty damn cheap.
it's worth checking out. We can add that to the show notes maybe.
Go for it.
Um, and let's see, you ready to move on to the next piece of news?
Yes.
Yeah, happy 25th anniversary to the Sega Mega Drive. This is one that kind of it didn't sneak up on us. I knew about it about a few weeks before someone clued me in. This
I think our birthday on the fucking on some of our social profiles, I put it the Mega Drive birthday. So
nice.
we're like what 25 years old in some of the accounts.
That's great. Well, it's younger than some of us.
Yeah.
Uh, let's see, but yeah, that's celebrating the anniversary of the Japanese release, and I'm pretty sure both you and I were probably not even aware that the Mega Drive was released in Japan when we were that
Youngs?
age.
No,
Yeah.
no, no.
I mean, I remember. I think probably in the late '90s I began to become aware of like video games release in other countries, and there's a whole other thing going on. I mean, I remember I'd hear about the Mega Drive, and I was like, "Damn, I want to get one of those," and then I realized I already had one.
So wait, you call it. Oh, it's of course it's Mega Drive. Sorry, I was like, why didn't you call it Sega Genesis? People are gonna be confused.
Well, that's the
Um,
thing too. I noticed a lot of news sites were saying "Happy 25 years to the Genesis," and I'm like, "That's not technically true.
well, yeah,
The
we have to be.
Genesis isn't 25."
Yeah, it's the Mega Drive name. I always hated the fact that they changed it because I always thought that the Sega Genesis would have sounded better as the Sega Mega Drive, but
You know.
keep it nice and simple all around.
Yeah, if you were to ask me as a kid, I'd definitely go with Genesis. But looking back now, it's one of those situations where it's like, why change it?
Yeah, there's no reason to change it. Mega Drive's
There's no
fine.
reason. And it kind of comes off of Master System, and then you have Mega Drive,
Yeah,
and the reasoning for the name. I believe they. Do you remember the president? He talked about the naming of the Mega Drive.
I don't even think I remember that.
I believe Drive was named after the driver that was in it.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. So why did we change it in America? Was it copyrights? I'm assuming.
I think it was a copyright reason. I'm not too sure, so I don't want to say for sure. But I always thought that Genesis meant that it was like their first console in the US, but then I realized the Master System did get a release, it just didn't sell well.
Yeah, I know.
So
So they ignore it.
they did. Because I was like, oh, Sega Genesis. It's like, and I actually thought the next one would be named after the next book of the Bible, but that
Which was the
didn't
next
happen.
book after the Genesis?
I am not religious, so I wouldn't know. But Genesis 2.
Genesis,
Uh,
yeah, probably the sequel.
Genesis 2. They did the sequel in the Bible, right? It was like the Harry Potter books.
So
Um,
out of the 25 years of the Sega Mega Drive, which one would you say is your favorite Sega Mega Drive game? Like that probably like you say if you had to like say here play the Mega Drive, and you gave a controller to somebody and they gave them one game to play,
hmm.
which one would it be?
I'd probably have to go with Sonic 2.
Yeah, that's a really good one. Like
However, like Sonic 1, since it was the first one I ever owned, I think that's a really good one to get into. Though this isn't a game I'd have as an introductory one, but I love Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and the Hyperstone Heist. It was
but
one of my favorite games as a kid.
people we're gonna have this we're gonna have a debate. I was pretty bummed out on Hyperstone Heist because
Hmm.
before I played Lost in Time, and I always thought that one
Yeah.
was better. But
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I never played that one, so
oh,
I was
you'll love it. You'll
oblivious.
love it, dude.
I know I've played it since on an emulator, and it is a really cool game. It's different though. There are things in the Hyperstone Heist that I think are done better.
It's one
Um,
of those like I guess now when people like do comparisons of games, they'll be like, check it, this one has a little more shadowing, and everybody's like, oh fuck you PS3, you suck. But
yeah,
like back then, they were so radically different.
yeah, yeah.
So yeah, those were one of those games.
I
That
always felt, speaking of Super NES compared to the Genesis Mega Drive, I always felt like the NES was softer in its sound, and I didn't like that. Does that make sense? Like I remember I'd
softer.
always hear like violins and things when I'd hear music for them. It would be very, very kind of soft Nintendo-y music. Nothing really rocking.
See, this is the problem though. Everybody always talks about sound, especially on the 16-bit things.
Hmm.
I'm the worst one like to talk about sound because like when I hear like a game, like people are all like, "Yeah, the emulation's off. The sound doesn't sound good," and I'm like, "Really? I never noticed. Like, I always never notice sound. Like, even little differences. People are all like, "Yeah, it fucking bothers me. I can't play it." Like when
Yeah,
Sega does
well,
re-releases, and I'm like, I'm gonna be honest with you, I didn't notice.
hmm
I'm
yeah,
terrible with
well,
sound.
I only found out recently that the Master System sounds a lot better in Japan than it does in America. So it almost turned me off from buying a Master System in America. It's if you ever listen to the sound comparisons, it's pretty shocking. But
How shocking. I want to. I'm thinking of importing one now that we're talking about it.
like It's like the difference between playing a Genesis, like a legit Model 1, compared to playing a game on some cheap, recently released third-party little console where it sounds really tinny.
Talking
It's
about oh, you go on. Sorry.
But anyway, going back to the Mega Drive, though, I was going to say I did look it up, and the Mega Drive name was trademarked in the United States, and so they had to replace it.
That's a shame.
The trademark was held by a company known as Mega Drive Systems, who specialized in creating storage devices for home computers.
Hopefully they're out of business.
We should find one on eBay and give one away. Say it's an official Mega Drive system in box.
That would work.
Rare American Mega Drive.
I was to say that they're releasing this thing this December. I was looking into. They were showing me.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those units where you could play like different console games. I think this one's called the Retro N5. It's like a new model of it, and this one lets you play Super Nintendo, NES, Genesis, Game Boy Color, I guess, and a few other ones. And you could put the Genesis adapter, the one that lets you play Master System games.
Mm-hmm.
It's compatible with it. And I was like, it kind of makes me angry. I wish it was just like all Sega consoles, but because they always focus on Nintendo stuff, and it kind of makes me a little mad.
It's always carts too. I'm waiting for a company to come in and be like, all right, it plays Dreamcast, Saturn, PlayStation,
Yeah, but yeah,
Disk drives are more expensive, I'm sure, but I'd be willing to pay a little extra if they were like to combine a Dreamcast and a Saturn into one console.
But how much more expensive can it be? I mean, like I'm looking online and I could buy right now a Blu-ray burner for like $60. Like
probably not that much then.
Yeah, I don't think it would be that much. I just think they probably have to get the license from Sony, and I don't know if Sony licenses that kind of stuff.
Oh, that's true. That would be difficult. If anything, Sega would be the only one licensing out.
They should just do a Mega Sega console where you play every Sega console in one unit.
I tell you, I still wish the Saturn cartridge slot played Genesis games.
Honestly, I'm surprised Sega hasn't thought about releasing their own console. Like all these little companies do these like EA re-releases with digital games.
Yeah.
I'm surprised Sega hasn't really just said, you know what, let's release a box where it'll be able to run like up to Dreamcast quality games, and you can just buy all your Sega games on it, and it's kind of like a Sega console, but it's super cheap. Like
that would be cool. Another thing they could do is with the Steam box coming out, they could partner with a hardware manufacturer and oversee the production of a Sega Steam box.
Yeah, that
like
would work.
The laptops they released in Japan.
They were pretty expensive, but besides that, yeah, they look nice.
Yeah, but just that same kind of idea where they'd say this is the hardware we think would best suit the games we release, and then put a Sega logo on it. People would go crazy, I think.
I think what we really want is just a Sega console.
I know. I hate to admit it. I talk shit about people who constantly want one, but secretly I do.
Secretly, you go in your room and you're like, you get your Wii U and you just put a Sega sticker on it, and you're like, much better.
Pretty much. Here, let's move on to the next bit of news. It's Mega Drive related. The Sega 3D classics for the Nintendo 3DS have been priced and dated. I know a lot of people have been complaining about Sega not talking about these. But finally, on my birthday, November 28th, on Thanksgiving Day, 3D Space Harrier and 3D Super Hang-On will be the first two releasing on the Nintendo 3DS.
Woo! Congratulations to those games, I guess. Which one are you looking forward to?
Those two. Those are the only two I was looking forward to.
Okay.
In the following weeks, they're releasing Sonic the Hedgehog, Altered Beast, Echo the Dolphin, 3D Galaxy Force 2, Shinobi 3, and Streets of Rage. And those are all good games, definitely, but I think there's something special with Space Harrier and Super Hang-On just because of the perspective that they have that could really work well in 3D.
That's true, but you got to admit, though, that Shinobi 3, that was a pretty good game.
That would be pretty good. I might get that, too.
That's probably one of the games, if I had to show somebody a game for the Mega Drive, it'd probably be that one. Vector Man, Comic Zone.
Yeah.
Or Gunstar Heroes.
Oh yeah, Gunstar Heroes is great.
Yeah. See, but Sonic the Hedgehog 2 is a. I think if you want to go with the most popular ones, when I was a kid that impressed the shit out of me, it'd
Hmm.
be Sonic 2 and Streets of Rage 2. Streets
I
of
love
Rage,
Streets of Rage too.
Streets of Rage 2, the music alone, that was pretty crazy.
The first stage is so good. The music for that.
Yeah.
I still have it on my iPod.
You listen to it?
Yeah, I do sometimes. Alone. The thing though with these 3D titles is I do think the price is a little high, 5.99 each, especially when you get to Sonic the Hedgehog, which is out on the iOS App Store, the remastered version, the Taxman Stealth developed one for 1.99. And sure, you're playing it in 3D, and it does have the spin dash, but the Taxman one that runs at solid, I believe, 60 frames per second, widescreen. It's got all these bonuses.
Over 1080p support, it's like,
Yeah, you can
yeah,
stream it.
yeah, and
So
it's kind of hard to like it's like I don't know what Sega's thinking. Like they have these two Sonic One in like ports in production,
yeah,
but they don't combine those efforts together.
yeah. It's I wish they would just release the Taxman Stealth one on the 3DS, but I guess the Sega of Japan does their own thing. This was for the Mega Drive's 25th anniversary. These six Mega Drive titles. So the one I'm interested in seeing is Echo the Dolphin because I feel like that game's a lot better with its Sega CD soundtrack. I don't
Right.
really know that game as a Genesis game. I've always known it as a Sega CD title. So
So when is the Sega CD gonna have its 25th anniversary? Is what you were saying?
I have to look that up too.
I think
Uh,
Sega would. I think Sega doesn't want anybody to really talk about that part of their history.
yeah, I know. The Sega Nomad, I don't even know what day it was released. I've looked and looked. It's a well kept secret. All I know it was October, I believe, 1993. That's no 1995 maybe. See, even I don't know, but it was in October, and they don't have a specific date.
That's weird.
Isn't that weird? It's one of the few pieces of Sega hardware where there is no specific date stated. October 1995.
Huh. That's kind of strange.
It just kind of released.
It just can't kind of came out and then like the same month went in the bargain bin or something.
Yeah, pretty much. So I think that's definitely an investigative report that I need to get on.
You should start doing a documentary on it.
Hell, it's in my name. I should know these things. Let's see. Should we move on to some good news?
What good news?
Yeah, Sega Sammy.
No, Sega doesn't have any good news. You
No,
mean
no,
less
no.
depressing news, right?
Less depressing news. Yes, Sega Sammy's financial report. The consumer division has beaten expectations and generated profit. Take that, Nintendo.
Yeah. Well,
Boom.
Nintendo makes profit too, don't they?
I know they do. Well, they're not doing well.
They're not doing
Just
the greatest, but
just give me what I don't have much, so
Sega's
give
gonna
me
buy
that.
Nintendo and they're gonna take over their
Yeah,
hardware division.
yeah. The Wii U is gonna get rebranded as the Dreamcast too.
That's that what you wanted? That's what
Yeah, and the gamepad's gonna be called the Big VMU.
the big VMU.
They're like, take it with you to school and transfer files with your friends.
Who gives a shit? You have a big VMU in your pocket.
Hell yeah.
um, yeah, they apparently their consumer division beat profit. Like this is like one of the rare times where they make money back because Sega-Sammy's been making money, but because of their gambling, what is it called? Pachinko slots, or what are they called?
Yeah.
The gambling machines, and
Mhm.
their amusement division where it's like arcades and stuff. But this time, Sega's actual like mobile games and PC games and console games have made profit. They said that in the last 6 months, their biggest title was Total War Rome 2,
Wow.
which did over 800,000 units in under a month.
Hmm.
Since that one came out on September not 5th, I think,
Hmm.
and it the financial thing, it ended on the end of the September, so it literally had less than a month on sale, and it
Wow,
almost hit
that's
a million.
impressive.
Yeah, it almost hit a million units.
Now, is that in total? Does that include digital and physical?
They didn't say it on the thing I read, but I'm assuming so. Yeah, I think it means all of it. That's
Hmm.
still pretty impressive, especially considering the fact that a lot of people talked a lot of shit on that game because
How is it bad or is it just not? I
apparently
don't
it's a
understand.
disappointing compared to Rome One, which was a huge like their biggest like I guess best game people consider.
Hmm.
So apparently it was glitchy and it didn't work with some I think AMD cards. It didn't work well, which is like 30% of the people that play video games
Okay.
on PC.
Okay.
So I heard they're patching it up, and Sega's really good right now on PC patches. Like
Hmm.
right now, they're releasing like an expansion pack for free for people that bought Company Heroes 2. They're gonna
Uh-huh.
have new maps, new a bunch of new stuff. They're doing tournaments for it. So Sega's been pretty good, at least on PC, with patching their stuff up. I wish they would take the same note on console games because
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
kind of abandoned those right away.
Yeah.
So yeah, that
Interesting.
that's how they're making the money, I guess. So I guess buying Creative Assembly was a good idea.
You say begrudgingly.
Yeah, I said I was like, just let AM2 make games, man. They'll make their money.
Yeah, that's all. I mean, Sega only consists of three employees that make AM2 titles, right?
I wish. I do wish their Japanese studios would make a lot more games, but honestly, it's pretty risky, especially where they were at last year, where they were like
Hmm.
shutting everything down.
Well, it's not on the news here, but that we wrote down. But I do remember we have Demon Tribe is coming out to the West, which is from a Japanese studio from I believe Jet Set Radio's director.
I'm looking it up. Oh yeah, Demon Tribe was also on the. It was also on the list. Apparently, they got a lot of downloads in Japan. Yeah,
So
I don't.
I'm looking forward to that. I mean, it might end up being a forgettable title, but I always like checking out games from developers, Sega developers. Like I had a lot of fun with Rise of Nightmares. I know a lot of people don't like that because of its Connect association, but it was a really fun arcadey Sega title with a lot of ideas that you definitely could see were ones that they wanted to implement in House of the Dead titles, but couldn't.
I'm looking at. I googled it. And I'm looking at the little trailer, teaser trailer for it, and it's like a girl in like a weird like Bayonetta type suit, and she's opening up her shirt to show you her breast, but like there's a
There we go.
tattoo.
There we go.
That's it, right?
Day one.
Day one, and she sticks out her tongue. I'm buy. That's it. I gotta buy it.
Yeah, day one.
Day one, I gotta download it for free.
The day one edition. There you go.
That's day one. So it's the director for Jet Set Radio.
Hmm.
It definitely doesn't look like a Jet Set Radio type game,
Nope.
but he's done games that don't even resemble Jet Set Radio before. So
That's
who-
true. That's what I like about his games. That like you never know what you're gonna get. It's like a box of chocolates.
I just wish. Well, so it's a mobile game though. It's not a Vita or anything like that.
Yeah, it's a mobile title, which I know will disappoint some people, but at least I know I'll always have it on my phone
Everywhere you go.
everywhere. I wouldn't mind becoming addicted to do it to a Demon Tribe. So
So you're in the board meeting. They're talking about the new Big Bang Theory episode. You're just on your phone playing away.
yeah, pretty much. Let's see. Last piece of news. It's also PC related. New DLC for Sonic and All Stars Racing Transformed has been discovered on Steam. Um,
Doesn't Steam get all the nicest things?
they
Actually,
do.
that's actually another game that gets, I guess, updated on the on.
They've yeah, they've almost given people a quarter. They've like expanded the racing roster by about a quarter. They have the Football Manager, the Shogun.
They have
I
the
believe they added
TF2 racer where it's like
Train. Yeah, yeah. Team Fortress 2, and they have General Winters that they had from
Company Heroes too.
Company of Heroes. They didn't they have a Rome guy? They had a Rome
I think so.
Total War guy. And so, some people are speculating that it could be another PC character. However, there was that poll that was held months back, and the winners were Miku, Ryo Hazuki, Segata-san Shiro, Toe Jam and Earl. I'm trying to think two others. And what's interesting is in the files, there's a bunch of, uh, or not the files, but what they found on Steam is above a certain number of votes, they said they'd consider characters to be included, and there were 7 characters that went above that number. And what's interesting is in the files, there's 7 files for they don't know what they are.
Oh
Maybe
man.
but the funny thing is each of the names are joke names. So there's like Tails Doll, Princess Elise,
Oh, Princess
some
Elise. I want to play that.
so it's making me think that they know people are going to dig, and so they're giving them 7 dummy names. I would be very surprised if they were to get all 7 characters through. I don't think it's going to happen.
Especially
But
Sega Danshiro, like, isn't that like a copyright? Like, you can't just put the dude's face in the
they
game.
can't use his face, and they've already put him in the game. He rides the rocket when you're placing first on the final
Oh,
track.
then I'm assuming that he could be a racer maybe since it's free download,
If they don't show his face, maybe if he could wear like a ski mask.
or maybe they could just show him, but like a really cartoon version, like they could be anybody in a karate suit.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, you don't need to use the guy's face. You could just put an angry Japanese man.
I don't see why he wouldn't be in the game though. That guy seems like a pretty nice guy.
Yeah, he's done promotions recently for Rambo Arcade.
Yeah,
Uh,
well, not that recent, but yeah, he has.
Recent enough in the 2000s, I think.
Yeah.
Uh, but other people are saying it's probably Miku, and I believe we've heard leaks or something like that it is Miku. So we'll have to
Well,
wait and
I
see.
could definitely see Miku since they're trying to promote it. Like they even announced the Vita version. I'm assuming the PS3 version did decent enough.
I mean, it's not unlike Sega to release a new racer at the time when a new game's coming out. My only concern is that it's just going to be PC only again, and I understand some of the PC exclusives, but at this point, I would love it if the console versions got like at least one racer, but it would be awesome if like for $5 they gave us a pack of all of the PC exclusives. I think that would be really cool.
I think it's time for you to get a PC, dude.
I know, man.
I should have
Like
just
get
got one
my
instead of
Steam
the.
box.
Oh, are you interested in it now? That it's like a one solution kind of thing.
I kind of am actually because there's a lot of PC games I wanted to play, but I don't want to get another computer.
Supposedly, it also has the power to like I guess stream it from your like other PC, which you don't even have. So hopefully, it's not just that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, see, yeah, they have the Rome 2 guy. I'm looking
Yeah,
at I'm
yeah.
looking at the sales page right now. Like, huh? I
Looks
was
like
I was
it's
actually looking if it was on Mac, but apparently not. Sorry.
no. In fact, the first All Stars Racing just came out for Mac, and I really wanted to play it and review it, but it cost, I believe, $30 or $40, which
Not
is
worth
kind of
it.
it's a joke considering I can get that game in a bargain bin for $10 now. And to be fair, I usually like to buy my Sega games new, so I'm not going to buy it from a bargain bin. Uh,
Yeah.
so
And
it's
also
it's like
considering the fact that Transformed is $20 on Steam right now, it's not even on
it's a
sale.
better game, yeah. So unfortunately, they did not make a sale, and I don't think they want to give me a review code because it's not going to mean a damn thing if I review
An overpriced game.
I review that game. Hey guys, I really recommend you go out and get the Mac version of a game that's been out for 3 years now.
Yeah, exactly. Just get a Steam box and we could play the racing game together.
Yeah, I think I'm going to consider getting one of those.
Hopefully they don't come out and they're like, yeah, check this game out. It plays everything on super ultra high, $7,000.
Yeah, I just hope that's not the case.
Hopefully they understand. The controller looks
Another,
okay enough. I mean, like if you want to play like RTS games, I guess on it.
yeah, yeah,
Hopefully they let you just put it like a 360 controller, like it. You know what I mean?
just pair it with it.
Yeah, just pair it up. Because I
That'd be
mean, I use a 360 controller. It's wired, but I use that on my PC to play my games because
cool.
it's the easiest thing. I just plug it in and everything works. And I like the way the 360 controller feels.
Yeah. See, Xbox isn't all that bad.
Honestly, now that I've used the 360 controller a lot more on PC, when I go to play like a game on my friend's house and they gave me the PS3 controller, I'm like, oh, fuck this shit.
I've never become accustomed to the PlayStation controllers. It's
It's
just something
hard after you got the different controller feel and then you go back. It's hard.
it is hard. It's weird. I can't play a Sonic game on a PlayStation controller. I just can't. It's impossible for me.
I do it on the D-pad, but I have to use the joystick, it's over. I'm like, oh, sorry. Especially like first-person shooters. No, thank you. But yeah,
Man, well, should we get on to the main event, Sonic?
Sonic. Yeah.
Sonic. Yeah,
Uh,
new games out finally. It's I feel like it's been a dry year. We have had a
for
lot of PC
Sega.
titles. We
Yes.
had Mickey Castle of Illusion. Trying to think what else. Not that many
Miku.
games came out this year.
This is
Miku.
Miku came out.
No Dreamcast re-releases
Colonial
from
Marines, was it this year or last year?
that was this year, unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
But yeah, finally one of their big games has come out, Sonic Lost World for the Wii U and 3DS. It came out a little over a week later in the US compared to Europe and Australia, which is a shame because a lot of people got to play it, form their opinions, reviews came out. So I feel like by the time I actually got to play the game, I already had a very firm idea of what it was going to be like. And unfortunately, a lot of the reviews were, should I say, negative to middling, middle of the road. So it was weird coming into it because typically when a Sonic game comes out, I don't really have much to go on. Um, like with Generations, I played that day one, so I really didn't have anything to compare to.
I hated
Um,
when I read some of the reviews and it was like Sonic tries to be like Mario but fails, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure you're playing it wrong. Like, I'm pretty sure that's trying to be Mario.
no, I mean, obviously they're trying to appeal more towards Nintendo's audience, which makes sense considering it's a platform exclusive, and it's something they've done in the past, especially with Sonic Colors, with the power-ups and things like that.
Yes.
I will say that while the power-ups are in this game, I don't feel like they are as forced upon you. You can make it through a lot of levels in the Wii U version without ever having to use the power ups. And even then, sometimes I'll forget I even collected a power up. Whereas with the 3DS version, there are stages where you really need to use them, and some of them are fun, some of them not so much. They're a little not glitchy, but very very touchy. Like there's a lightning bolt one that you connect to other electric things and items nearby, but it has a very small jump. So like if you're moving towards something and you try to jump to get it, there's a very small window of when you can homing attack onto it. It's
Yeah.
hard to explain without actually trying it, but it's yeah, I'm not reviewing the Wii U or the 3DS version, so I can definitely say that it's I don't know. It is a mixed bag because it's a game that there's a lot of stages I really like, and there's a lot of stages I don't like. Um,
Which one's your least favorite stage?
there's a stage that goes on for about 10 or 15 minutes, and I love the music and I love a lot of the gimmicks in it, and I like the first half. But then at the second half, it's just going on rails, and given the size of the 3DS's screen and the fact that it only shows so much of the level. It's has a short draw. It has a pretty good draw distance, if that's the right term to use, but not so good that when you're on rails you can switch. Um, I also don't like the entire last zone. I kind of felt ripped off because you're playing through and stages are maybe 10 minutes long, which I did enjoy the longer stages on the portable version because if I'm sitting on the ride to work and have 30 minutes to play, I don't mind playing through a 10-minute level. Um, However, the final zone, it's just the same bosses again. It's just a boss rush.
Oh, so they basically pulled a Mega Man where they're like, beat every boss you beat the whole game in a row.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. And so when you look at it, you have um, zone one, zone two, zone three, because they don't use acts, they use zones. So you fight the first two bosses combined, and then you fight the second two bosses combined, then the third two bosses, and then the final boss. So it's like, why would I ever return to play those? It's just the same as the bosses I played earlier in the game, and there are no, I don't believe there are any red rings to collect. So and when I looked, I haven't gotten to that stage yet in the Wii U version, but I know there's a lot more to it. There's actual platforming and full-on stages and things. So it really feels like they hit the sixth world in the game, and then they were like, dude, we got to get this game done. So they just said, all right, last world is just boss rush. So that's a shame because it kind of stumbles a little bit halfway through, but then it starts to get good again, and then it ends kind of on a
Down low.
a samey, low kind of note. But overall, I do like the 3DS version a lot more than Sonic Generations 3DS. I feel like there's a lot more content.
I think that's a problem with Sonic Team that they're really good. Like if I had to judge them as a relationship partner, they'd be like really good at the foreplay and like bringing you to bed.
Yeah,
Performance in the end, terrible.
yeah.
Like Generations, it was all like okay and good, when you're going, and then by
hmm
the end, it's like the last level was all like glitchy, like the last boss.
Oh, right on the console version. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So it's like
Um,
you're considering yourself like really like why is it always the ending that's always bad in Sonic games? Like why do you always have to like drop everything in the end?
yeah, that is a that is a good point. It is very similar to Generations in that regard. I do think that the ending to Sonic Colors was actually pretty strong. I thought the last boss was fun, which was kind of rare for those games.
Yes.
I do like on the 3DS, I think the boss fights are a lot better than the Generations 3DS ones, which were just races through levels you've already played. Like that was a example right there where it was like they ran out of time, so they didn't develop any interesting bosses. Um, as for the Wii U version, I think it's the best looking Sonic game I've ever played. The 60 frames per second. I know we've talked on the forums in the past, and I'm like, oh, I don't really see the difference, but I definitely do see the difference.
Wow, you've been converted.
I have been converted. However, I can still play 30 frames per
No,
second
I could
games.
play
It
30
doesn't bother
frames
me.
too, but like I noticed it. I was testing a computer the other day in class, and like it had like a crappy onboard video card, and I was
hmm
just testing the game on it, and I was like 30 frames per second right away. But
hmm
it didn't bother me. I'd play it. I don't care. But I always try to aim at least for your computer over 30 because it'll drop when a lot of action happens. It's not like
Yeah.
console where it's locked or it tries to be locked at least.
This will sound weird too, but I prefer high frame rate when it's like more of a cartoony game, whereas when it's like a realistic kind of one with a lot of drama, I like it when it's a little lower. It gives it kind of a cinematic feel.
Oh man, we're
I
gonna
don't
have a lot
know.
of people complaining on this one, on this
That's
opinion.
just me.
Yes.
But
So you like the 60 frames per second?
yeah, yeah, and I think the graphics, I know a lot of people said they looked a little kiddie and simple, but when you start playing, there are some pretty nice textures to them. It's not just flat colors. The bosses look really cool. The enemies do. Um, this they have this kind of weird metallic kind of when like people pimp out their car and they've got like the sparkly kind of paint to them,
I forget. I think it's called like I don't know what it's called. I
like
forgot. I used
glitter.
to know. I used to know because I used to play those stupid EA racing games with my brother
Yeah,
when we were younger.
yeah,
Hated those, but they always like pimp out your ride, bro, and then like they show you the paint.
yeah, yeah. All the little enemies kind of have that going on, which is pretty cool. Um, so yeah, overall, I think Wii U one, the graphics are great, the music's great. I don't want to give away too much because I'd like at least one person to read the review when it comes out 2 weeks after the game's been actually out in the world. Um,
Get them
but
hyped. Get them hyped.
gameplay, I like the way Sonic controls in the game.
So
I
you like
like.
the new slowdown, I guess, and double
I
trigger thing.
do, I do. I was hesitant because when I think of triggers on controllers, I think of the Xbox. But with the Wii U gamepad, those triggers, I mean, it's one time when the cheap triggers on that gamepad actually help because you hardly notice pushing down on them. They're so they don't have any give, and there's no it's not like with the Xbox ones where you pull in and there's more resistance the closer you get. It's just a button click, you push it in. So it's really easy to hold them down. It's not like your 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 fingers aren't going to hurt after playing the game at all. Um,
So you approve of the new scheme?
I do. I like it. It's a lot easier to move around on the screen. I wish he was a little faster, but then again, this is because I'm coming off of Sonic Generations where he was boosting like crazy.
Yeah, that game was
Um,
crazy fast.
and I this might be an unpopular opinion, but I'm glad it wasn't a sequel to Generations. As much as I liked Sonic Generations, I feel like they played it safe. They basically did everything that has worked in the series, which did make for a good game. But if you were to make a sequel to Sonic Generations with those same controls and the same movesets, I think it would just feel like more of the same. It really wouldn't offer anything new to the series. And I think in Generations, the nostalgia really helped. Uh, and I think it was nostalgia done right. Now, you can't keep, it's not like the Mario series where you just keep living off of the nostalgia, like, oh my God, look, it's the Mushroom Kingdom again.
Hell yeah, I haven't
I
played
don't
this
think
since
that
the
works for
last one.
Sonic. Yeah, exactly. I don't think that sort of thing works for Sonic. I don't know why it doesn't work, unfortunately, because it would be great if it did, because then they could just. But
I think it'll work to an extent, but sadly, I think there's like there's this thing about the Sonic fans, like they're like very separated. Like there's some people where they're like Sonic '06 was the best Sonic game, and you're like, are you fucking retarded? Like what the hell's going on? Like you can never please the Sonic fan base, no matter what. Some of them want
never.
super obscure characters that were only like in one panel in an Archie comic. And other
Yep.
people, they want a Shadow the Hedgehog fucking dark Sonic game.
Yeah, and I know that's deemed a negative, but I think it's a sign of a large fan base, which I think is a good thing. You see that same thing with Star Trek and Star Wars.
Yeah, you do, and then I think it's also a testament that Sonic Team is usually always trying to rewrite the rules of Sonic. Like, they're not the best developers in the world, I guess. They do
Hmm.
make a lot of duds, but they at least try, you know.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
it seems like Mario is always playing it safe, but they always give the fans what they really want because they don't really change the formula that much.
Right,
But when they
right.
do, they usually do it pretty well. Like I was playing the new Mario and Luigi game. It
Hmm.
reminds me of the same stuff as the ones that you kind of sold on the Game Boy Advance,
Hmm.
but it works. Like they have good writing. It works really well as an RPG game. Way better than the Sonic game they did, the
Right, right.
RPG one.
Oh yeah. As for the story and the new characters, I like it when they take this more simple direction. I know a lot of people are like, well, they should explain where he is and why they're there, but I'm like, that's what hurt the series in the past, where they're like talking for 10 minutes about Elise and what the hell. I don't even know Meth Elise, all these crazy things. I felt like I was watching a Final Fantasy cutscene. Um,
Yes, Sonic 06 had some of the worst cutscenes I've ever seen in my entire life.
yeah, and
I mean, they
you
look
know,
nice, but
when in Sonic Lost World, they travel to this place where everything's hexagons and it's called Lost Hex, and that's about the extent of the explanation.
that's all I
I
need to
don't I
know.
don't really see what's so bad about that, considering in Sonic and Knuckles they said Sonic went to the floating island. What is the floating island? It's where Knuckles lives.
Oh,
Why does it
okay.
float? There's a giant emerald. Like that was the extent. You look at Sonic CD where they said there's a little floating time travel planet that's above a lake. Why is it there? Well, it only appears once a year, and that's about it. So,
I think if you over explain things, you kind of ruin the allure of it. Like
mhm,
Star Wars is a great example. Like they try to go way more into detail with like the senates and all this other shit,
mhm.
but all you really need to do is give him a hero who wants to do something. Just make it simple as possible. Like the old ones weren't anything complicated.
Yeah, and and it's I think that using that Star Wars analogy, it's best when they show you things, but they don't overly explain it. If you were
Yes.
to be dropped in, if you were to be dropped into a day in the life of George, it's not like you'd be like, "This is my car that I drive." I bought it at this date, and I'm eating this food. You know, you don't overly explain yourself; you
And
just get on
I'm
with
talking
it.
about the nutritional value of every single piece.
Exactly. So when people are complaining about why isn't Eggman explaining why these six characters exist, you know, it's like, well, because he knows why they exist. I don't think the game needs to sit there and explain it to you. All you need to know is these six characters are the ones you battle, and they're bad. Um,
It's a
and
game. Honestly, it's a game made for
kids,
kids. It's not made. It's not a fucking. It's not like even not even Gears of War explains everything. Like, come on, guy, man, just relax.
and you know, at best, it's a game made for kids and all ages, people who have been with the series for a long time, because the strongest point is not the story, it's the character interaction. There's some of the best cutscenes I've seen in the Sonic series in this game, just because it's so fun to see, you
Oh,
know, these characters interacting. Because spoiler alert, Eggman's not the villain for most of the game, so
I think we've known that since the game was like leaked, I guess.
yeah. So it's funny to see him just like casually talking to Sonic. It actually reminds me of Adventures of the Sonic the Hedgehog, where they would just share a scene and talk to each other. And it's not like, oh my God, you know, like Sonic '06, where it's like Eggman's gonna shoot Sonic in the forehead, you know, with a pistol or something like that. It's just they hate each other, but it's not like they're it's a life or death situation whenever they're together.
True.
So
I think one of the things that I was gonna ask you about, one of the ratings when the game was rated was dark humor, I guess.
right.
Was I guess some people considered it to be a little abusive comments coming from some of the characters. I'm assuming those came from the Sinister Six
Yeah, yeah, the Deadly Six. They
or Deadly
were.
Sinister
Yeah, you're
Six.
thinking of
I'm thinking of
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Yeah,
Is this Spider-Man game we're talking about?
yeah, it could be. Well, he's got the parkour moves like Spider-Man does. He climbs up walls.
So I'm
Um,
assuming that Shadow killed Sonic the Hedgehog, took over his body, and it's
pretty much.
superior Sonic we're watching. Okay.
No, yeah, it's just it's silly insults from the bad guys. Nothing crazy.
Okay, so it was
Um,
overboard. Some of the people took it.
yeah, there's one scene where I think Sonic pretty much implies that he wants to kick this guy in the balls, which is kind of funny.
I don't. I have no nothing against that. I mean, even movies now, like the Pixar movies,
Yeah.
like which was that? Like they had was it a gay character in Toy Story 3 or was oh no, it was like a stereotypical Mexican character. It was pretty racist, but like
Same thing, right?
yeah. So I'm like, whatever, dude. It's all good. I mean, I'll accept it.
Well, cars, they were all stereotypes. There was like the Italian car and the
Not to do with this, but I actually saw Monsters University, and that was a good movie.
I'll have to check that out.
Do it. And I also saw the Wolverine, but you liked the movie. It was good.
I like the Wolverine
I
too.
just didn't
See?
like I just didn't like some of the characters didn't fit in, but the lizard lady, I didn't like her.
Well, I think that wraps up what I have to say about Sonic Lost World. I don't want to review the title here,
Yeah,
but
okay.
I
We know everything we need to know about it. I think I have a couple more questions, but I guess I'll ask you right now.
you can ask them, yeah.
Um, when I was watching some of the gameplay footage, there would be like Act One, it'd be like a regular Sonic level, then it'd be like
Mhm.
Act Two, and you're a snowball.
Yeah, that's one thing I read in one of the message boards, I forgot where, someone was talking about how Sonic Team's afraid to just commit fully to one idea. They're always like, people might get bored of Sonic. Let's throw in a stage where it's different. And they're still doing that here. I feel in Sonic Colors they did it a lot more, where you'd have seven acts and probably only three of them really felt like Sonic stages. The rest were like puzzles. At least here, you know, you'd get an area and Zone One would be a Sonic stage, mostly in 2D. Or just mostly in 3D. Zone Two would be a gimmick, and then Zone Three would be mostly a 2D stage. It's not as bad here. There's the snowball one, like you mentioned. I'm trying to think of some other ones. That's the only one that really stands out. So it is kind of weird. It's kind of like you're playing Billy Hatcher.
So why didn't they just like I'm assuming the whole idea is like okay, it's a Sonic game. People complain that we had too many Sonic characters before and changed the gameplay. Let's just change the gameplay between levels and they won't complain.
Yeah, yeah, and I guess it's kind of unfortunate because then it's like, oh, I could have been playing a Sonic stage here, but instead I'm a rolling ball. It's like Sonic inside of a snowball, which is it's never explained. He never comments on it, and I think you even finish the stage in the snowball. You never see Sonic, which is kind of strange. But it's not a bad stage. It's pretty short, and it leads to a boss fight. So, yeah, it was a weird decision, but it wasn't like I didn't hate playing it. So that's, I guess, a positive. It's enjoyable, but it's not something I'd want, if that makes sense. It's kind of
Yeah.
like the what am I trying to think of? It's kind of like the Sonic Adventure 2 treasure hunting stages where they were a lot better, and there was like you were controlling Knuckles and he was gliding and doing all the stuff. So it's like, oh, okay, well, I've got some Sonic gameplay going on, but then it's like collect emeralds, and so it's one of those things where it's not great, but it's not horrible. It's not
Any
it's not
it's okay. So I'm gonna name characters and tell me if they're in the game.
okay.
Shadow,
No,
Silver,
nope,
Blaze,
nope.
Tails. Yes.
Yes,
Knuckles.
yes,
Um, I think that's about it. Amy.
yeah. She's in the cutscenes.
So you play anybody besides Sonic?
Nope, you just play as Sonic.
Okay. Any character that was in there? Any character that was in there that you were like, oh my god, I can't believe it.
Um, there were some enemies that I was surprised that they used. They used some Sonic CD characters that was kind of cool. Villain or Badniks, and they did some weird things with one of Eggman's lackeys, one of his assistants, which I thought was kind of funny. They did some kit bashing and put a character's head on a giant robotic crab, which was kind of funny. And something weird happens to Tails, which I won't give away, but yeah, it was pretty weird. He turns into RoboCop basically.
Oh, okay then. That sounds interesting, actually.
Yeah. So now people have some fan art to draw. They can do Metal Sonic and RoboCop Tails.
Oh, there you
So
go. New fan art and probably erotic literature too later.
yeah, yeah. But I'd say it's far from the negative reviews in my opinion. Um, but
I think as you being a Sonic fan, I mean, I think you're used to negative reviews.
that's true. I mean, we've said this before with Mario. They're kind of it's boring being a Mario fan because you know you're going to get a good game with Sonic. You know, it's always a surprise. So you're lucky to get a good game. You appreciate it. So with this one, it's not an A plus title. So spoiler alert, I'm not going to give it an A plus, but it's far from the negative reviews I've been reading.
Yeah. So what do you? Oh, actually, you can't give it a rating, huh? Well, you have to wait for the review. That was my next thing. What's your
I'll rate it
score?
for the. I mean, I haven't finished the game yet. Right now, I'm on. Let's say I'm in the B's right now,
Okay.
but I haven't finished it. So once I finish it, then I'll give it a proper score. But I'm not sad that I got it. I'm really enjoying it, and yeah. So review to come.
And it would be on the site.
Yeah, I'll post it on the site. I think I'll post it on my blog that no one reads anymore. So yeah. So
Oh,
and looking at maybe next week to have that
how
up.
about I guess we could just. This is the end of the show, I assume, right? So I could plug stuff in.
Yeah, yeah. Go for it.
Follow us on Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, and we have a Facebook.
Number
And
one on every single social network. I'm just saying.
which one are we on? Number one?
All of them.
Oh, well then there you go. That's what we'll set for Twitter. It's Sonic Retro has a shitload of fucking people.
Yeah, but that's Sonic. I'm talking about general Sega news.
Oh, okay. I guess.
And
Oh, go on.
I don't wanna say it yet, but we have something planned next year. We're working with a video game convention something's going to happen. So stay tuned for that.
I don't even. Oh yeah, I actually do know what that is about. I was all shocked. I was like, "Tell me, man. I'm gonna turn this fucking
Well,
recording device off right now."
I'm not going to say too much until they're like confirmed, but
Well, I
yeah.
actually read your. I was snooping on your guys' emails on the, and it looks like it's almost confirmed. Is you had to like write something out, don't you?
Yeah, I'm just at that point now where I'm waiting for them to reply back and say, "Got your email." I'm almost going to send one out saying, "Did you get my email?" Because I don't want it to get stuck in the spam folder. So
And oh, My Life with Sega starts season 2 on our YouTube channel, which is a pretty damn good web show that I think is very underrated, and everybody should watch it right now.
mhm.
Stop listening to this. And
Yeah,
we're doing Fantasy Zone week or month. I'm not sure yet.
yeah, that's coming up. I believe in December.
We'll be doing Monday Memories on it. We'll be doing a Tuesday Tunes, uh, a weekly
Wednesday
five.
winners. Yeah,
Yeah, and Wednesday,
Thirsty Thursdays.
Thursdays, Saturday sequel,
Yeah,
and Sunday roundtable thing we do, like the roundtable on Sundays.
man.
So you have that to look forward to.
Yeah, see?
There's content sometimes, and
And then
there's
Santa's on his
podcasts.
way. Santa's coming to bring us Fantasy Star Online too, I hope.
And yeah, that's it. Thank you for listening. This is a new podcast, and we hopefully will have another one next week. We're planning it out, and hopefully everything falls into place.
Hopefully.
It should go very good.
I've learned never to make promises anymore until something happens.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very hard, especially with scheduling and our scheduling.
Yeah.
So, goodbye.
Bye.